Hey, good afternoon. It's Monday, March 18th, and welcome back to another week of Everyday Talk 24/7. Just one quick note before I start. Tomorrow night at 11 o'clock, I'm going to go live, and that's just to celebrate the spring equinox. I'll be live at 11 o'clock tomorrow night. The equinox is at 11:06 Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to join us then, please do so. I'm excited about it. Just really excited about it. Today I'm going to start a new playlist, Tell the Next Generation. And the reason I'm doing this new playlist is because of my own grandchildren and this young man that you see in the thumbnail. His name is Charlie. Charlie's 13 today. Sometimes we have this privilege of knowing people even before they were born. I knew Charlie's parents before they were married, and then I knew Charlie through them before he even Lord brought him to be. And Charlie's a special young man, not because he's the greatest this or the greatest that, but because he represents what we're supposed to be about, what God has called us to be. Young men like Charlie and like my grandchildren, that's our hope. That's what God has called us to live for. Charlie's dad took him away this past weekend up in the mountains where they could just focus on the really important things as Charlie is turning 13 years old. And it was, again, I know the family, I know them, just so blessed to just see what God is doing there. But listen to what Asaph, the psalmist, says in Psalm 78 about the next generation, the purpose of this new playlist, the title of it. He says, I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things hidden from of old. I will utter things hidden from of old. Things we have heard and known, things our forefathers have told us. But what Asaph knows, and what is between the lines here, is he knows the forefathers have failed. They knew it, but they did not pass along this vision of telling the next generation. Verse 4. In contrast, Asaph says, we will not hide from their children. We will tell the next generation. It's what Charlie's parents are doing to him. He's the next generation. They're telling him the wonderful truths of God, the praiseworthy deeds of God, his power, and the wonders he has done. That's praise. His decreed statutes for Jacob, established the law of Israel, which he commanded our forefathers to teach their children. Again, here's this phrase again. So the next generation would know them, even children yet to be born, and they in turn would tell their children. Psalm 78 is a vision, not just for families, but for the future of our churches and for our country, for the world really, to operate, to understand that this world that we live in operates according to God's laws, his principles. God is the reason why there's hope. He fills my lungs right now with air at his purpose, his command. This is the God that we serve. This is the God that we must deal with. He's a loving and gracious God, a covenant-keeping God. And that's what Charlie's parents have transmitted to him. They've told him about the truth of God, the wonder of God. And we're seeing that play out in Charlie's life. And again, it's such a blessing to me to be able to know them, to know what his parents have invested in, and then to see this coming to fruit right in front of us. Is Charlie perfect? No, of course not. None of us are. But he's being given the vision that God has commanded his parents to give. Verse 7 says, the reason we're doing this is that we will tell the next generation, then they in turn would put their trust in God and would not forget his deeds, but would keep his commands. See, we want to light this flame so that our young men, our young women, like Charlie, can see this. They can see this bright burning flame of the work of the Holy Spirit through His precious Word. And that's their hope for the future. So that Charlie, my grandchildren, and others can give this truth to their children and their children. That's what God has called us to be about. And I'm going to be bringing out several videos, maybe dozens, maybe more, on the reality, the need to be committed to telling the next generation the truth of God, so they'll know what this world is really like, so that they can know how to interact with God in a way that brings honor to Him and brings blessing to themselves. We're not going to hide this from the next generation, but rather, as Charlie's parents have done, we're going to tell them the truth. Tell them this is God's world. And He's called us to be a part, as Peter says, of the divine nature, of the things that are really important, investing in now and in eternity. That's the vision we need to give to our children. Again, it's just such a blessing to know Charlie, know his dad, and thank you so much for just allowing me to be a part of your life. And I pray that God would richly bless this wonderful seed that He's planted within you. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks so much for being here. Pray that we would effectively, powerfully, meaningfully tell the next generation the wonders of our God. Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. May God richly bless you as you seek to live for His glory.